Hello and welcome to Our Year with the Ears, our daily vlog where we relive our year living in the Walt Disney World resorts in 2019. Today is day 12.
We started off today nice and early with breakfast at the food court here at Port Orleans Riverside. We decided that since we're both really not breakfast people or big eaters, if you haven't noticed already, we haven't done a lot of breakfast so far. We decided just to share a croissant with some tater tots there, and it was actually way better than the one we had a few days ago over at Sunshine Seasons. This was just bacon, egg, and cheese. It was fresh. It was really good. So we shared that breakfast and then headed back to our room to get things packed up and ready to go for our room change. So today we are changing rooms to another room here at Port Orleans Riverside. We're going to a royal guest room with a garden view this time. Now you may notice that we've stayed at Port Orleans Riverside several times already here in January.
Yep.
Well, if you think back and remember when we kind of drove down here with no rooms booked whatsoever, we were kind of left to take whatever was available for the rooms. So Riverside had a lot of rooms available, especially the royal guest rooms. That's where we wound up staying because it was really all the options we had. So we're changing over to another room here, which actually turned out to be a really nice thing that we were in the same resort.
It was really simple to be able to transfer luggage, so we didn't use bell services this time. We waited to see if our room would be ready before we needed to move out, and so it was, thankfully. So we packed up our car with our little luggage, Robert drove over and then came back with a luggage cart, and we just walked our luggage to our new room. It was very simple, very easy. It was definitely something we should have done a lot more.
I mean, it was a long walk from Alligator Bayou on the far side all the way around to the mansions, but it was better than trying to pack it all up and move it some of the other places we moved throughout the year. But
this is true.
I think having the same resort more than once in a row would have been really helpful throughout the year. Unfortunately, it only happened a few times, so
lesson learned.
We can blame the person who planned it all.
I do.
Put it all on me. Yeah, I booked everything, so that was me.
Now, as he said, we did have the same room, just a different view. So if you remember before, we stayed in a royal guest room that had a standard view, and it was literally the parking lot. Our view now was beautiful. It was actually the garden. We had the fountain out front. It was just an absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous view to see out our window. When you walked outside the door, just beautiful view. So after we got all moved in, we decided to head to the park and be straight up tourists, honestly. This was a tourist park day. So we went to Animal Kingdom and took a ton of PhotoPass pictures, just all over the park. We kept stopping with every photographer we saw. We got lots of magic shots, which again,
yeah, we did.
Most of the time they won't tell you what they are, so they're really fun to see later because we really didn't know what we were posing for. You just kind of go with it.
Right, and again, that's why you always ask because you never know if they're going to have them or not. And so we found several magic shots there. And we also were on the hunt for a snack that we had been craving. So the last time we came down before we started our year was in 2018 in the fall. So when we were here, we had a pulled pork mac and cheese that was from the Dockside Diner at Hollywood Studios. We got that and watched the Star Wars Spectacular, and it was awesome. Well, they don't have that at Dockside Diner anymore, so we were on the hunt to try to find it somewhere else in the parks, and we had heard rumor that it was located at Animal Kingdom now. We could find that snack. So we went over and found the cart that is over between Asia and Discovery Island that sells the pulled pork mac and cheese, and we got ourselves a plate of it because it is one of our favorite snacks across any of the dining locations.
It's just really good, and it's more filling than you'd imagine. For being the size that it is, you would think we'd both want our own, but it's extremely filling. So we shared one, thankfully. We almost got two. We would not have been able to finish that.
We'd have had leftovers. The other cool thing about it too is when the dining plan is a thing, it actually is a snack credit, which is kind of crazy that it's a snack credit. Now, I think they've probably moved it over to Flame Tree Barbecue now, so it probably won't be a snack credit again, but while it was there, it was a snack credit. It was a great deal. So then when we finished eating, we headed just right across the walkway to It's Tough to Be a Bug and enjoyed that show. Of course, I had to take a couple selfies with our bug glasses as well.
They're always so cute.
Yeah, always. I'm so photogenic. What can I say? And so then we left the It's Tough to Be a Bug Discovery Island area and took a walk because Alyssa had never been down either of the exploration trails, and we wanted to go to the aviary and see the birds.
When I heard that there was a whole section of the park that I had never even been in, I was like, how is that even possible? How many times have we been here? And I've just never gone. So we went into the aviary and I just loved it. I thought it was the coolest experience. And while we were in there, we took pictures with my new Kim Possible t-shirt that I got from Box Lunch. It was one of the purchases I got a few days ago. So of course I had to show it off because the live action was going to be released in just over a month. So I was ready and waiting because I loved Kim Possible growing up.
Yeah, and that was, of course, something we had to post on social media later on. So we were doing the Instagram pictures and all that good stuff. And then we went over to one more ride. We wanted to ride the safari because it's so hard to go to Animal Kingdom and not ride the safari. It's really difficult, especially if the line's not more than 30 minutes or so. So we headed over there and hopped on the safari to end our day at Animal Kingdom before heading back to our resort.
When we got to the resort, it was about sunset time, and we had just a beautiful view right outside the room with the sunset and the fountain, so we took some pictures there. And then it was time for s'mores. And I love chocolate. I specifically love s'mores. So we did not miss a chance to do s'mores as much as possible throughout the year. So we went over there. Now you can roast marshmallows at the resorts for free, but the s'mores you do have to pay for. So we paid $5, got 3 s'mores, and as you can tell, 3 does not divide well between 2 people.
It does when it's Alyssa. She gets 2 and I get 1. That's
it
even
worked out
split
really
right down
nicely.
the middle.
But you got 2 tacos the other day and I got 1, so that's fair.
But like one of them was the cauliflower taco. So I don't think that counts. I don't think that counts.
That is true. So I did eat the 2. Robert wouldn't let me buy any more, however, because we did have dinner coming up.
Yeah, we had dinner reservations, and she's like, "Let's do s'mores." It's like, "Okay, we'll go roast marshmallows." And like, "But s'mores are only $5." Like, we'll do 1 s'more. Oh, well, it's a 3-pack. Oh, well, now that you made them, you can't take it home and like eat it later. So she had to eat 2 of them, and I'm sitting here waiting for dinner because we had dinner reservations at Port Orleans Riverside at their table service restaurant, Boat Rights. Now, this was our first time eating at Boat Rights, but it would not be the last. This is probably on our top 5 hidden gem restaurants at the Disney resorts because it is so good. Kind of a southern type food. They have real sweet tea, which is a big deal because most places on Disney property have that instant tea stuff, which is, if you like it, that's fine, but like it's not real sweet tea. It's not fresh brewed. There's only I think 4 or 5 places I know of that have it. So when I found it last year, I got very excited. Anytime they said, "Hey, the sweet tea's real," I knew what I was getting.
As excited as I get about the color purple, that's how excited he gets about real sweet tea. He would talk about it constantly.
And if I couldn't find any on property, I would just head over to Chick-fil-A every now and then just to get a big cup of it because like, you gotta have it every now and then.
And like you said, we had never eaten here before. We didn't know what to expect. And we did not come hungry enough for this place.
Yeah,
we did not know what was in store.
Apparently we had no idea about the portion sizes because they were huge.
We had a wonderful server. She was a sweetheart, gave us great recommendations. So we started with the cornbread, and that was good. Robert loves cornbread more than I do.
It was really good.
I didn't really eat it much, but he said it was really good. And then for the appetizer, we got French onion soup, which was really good.
Very good.
Great way to start the meal. It was a little chilly that night, and so the French onion soup was just a nice starter to have. And then we got our meals.
Oh my goodness.
Woo, we did not know what was about to come, let me tell you.
So, we typically try to share food when it comes to quick service. Table service, we like to do an appetizer and a dessert, and then we would usually get our entrees and not eat much of them. We would eat enough to taste everything and then box it up and have leftovers later. Well, we were following that same formula, right? We got our appetizer, we had bread, and we had the soup. We got our entrees thinking we'll get dessert afterwards. But apparently the dessert was never going to happen because of the size of these entrees. It was unbelievable. I got prime rib, which I don't always order when I find prime rib on the menu. I don't always order it, but it always tempts me. And this time I gave in, and it was amazing. It was some of the best prime rib I've had on property. I think personally, I liked it a little bit better than the prime rib at Artist Point, which is one of my other ones that I like getting it at. But anyway, really good prime rib. And then Alyssa decided to try a little bit of everything with the barbecue.
I like to have the sampler.
Yeah, the barbecue sampler. Apparently a little bit of everything is a little bit of everything for your entire family because it was a ton of food.
The waitress must have laughed when I ordered this and thought, oh my goodness, she does not even know what's about to happen. Because they brought Robert's plate, set it down, like, okay, that's an expected
huge prime rib.
Disney portion. And then they bring this platter of food. And it has sausage and brisket and chicken and mashed potatoes and green beans and mac and cheese. It just kept going.
It was just so much food. And I looked at hers and went, my prime rib's really good, but I'm totally trying everything on your plate too.
I actually had quite a bit of his prime rib, and he had most of the food off my plate, which was kind of funny.
Well, you say most of the food. We definitely had leftovers for another meal after that because it was just so much food. But
it was delicious. All of it was just so good. And we had had s'mores before this. We should not have done that. So we did not end up getting dessert
ya.
because we just couldn't. We could not eat any more food.
I'm not going to say I told you so. But I kind of told you so on the s'mores, but that's okay.
There's always room for s'mores.
There's always room for s'mores, but maybe not dessert at the restaurant. That's all right,
Yes.
though, because we would go back to boat rides a few other times and try desserts later on. So we took our boxes of leftovers back to our room over in the Royal Guest Rooms and decided to go for a walk and trying to walk off some of that food that we just had. So we walked around the Port Orleans Riverside Resort and over to French Quarter and just enjoyed the nice, peaceful, quiet evening. Like she said, a little bit cooler outside, which is something we don't always have here in Florida. So grabbed our jackets and kind of enjoyed the nice, brisk weather outside and the beauty of the resorts.
Yeah. And that is everything for our day today. So we will see you tomorrow.
For our Year with the Ears.